And after you leave a like, remember to smash the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to my channel as yet. And remember to hit the notification bell so every time I post a video, you can know right away. Subscribe, 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 subscribe. What's up, my YouTube friends, viewers, subscribers, everybody? Welcome back to another banger motivational video. And the topic for today is you need to let them go. And when I say that, I mean when somebody come into your life and say, violate your boundaries, disrespect you, betray you, cheated on you, doesn't really matter what they did, as long as they do something that you're not okay with or they hurt you, you need to let them go. Do not force yourself to be friends with them again or to be around with them. You know why? Because if a person do something to you once, they will eventually do it again. Like, I'm not saying you need to not forgive them. You need to forgive them for your own blessing to move forward, because forgiveness comes from within. Forgiveness have nothing to do with the other person. So with that being said, is you need to let them go, because some people, like, if they're not, say, making you and all they're doing is like draining you, like they don't have nothing to offer towards whatever it is that you're trying to do, then you don't need them. Why are you having them around? Let them go, especially if they hurt you before. Because if a person do something to you, I'm not saying you shouldn't forgive them, you should, but if a person hurt them, you can forgive them, but you don't have to be around them. You know what I mean? If you see them out in public, hi, bye, that's it. So with that being said, is stop holding on to people that wasn't meant to stay in your life, because our lives has been written from the beginning to the end. So whatever it is that you're going through or whatever it is that you went through is supposed to happen. You're supposed to learn something in order to proceed. So if you ever notice when somebody say disrespect you and then you're like, oh, I want to be friends again, let's fix it. You notice they disrespect you again. Because whatever it is that you tolerate for yourself, that's how people will treat you. If you have no self-respect, you think someone's going to respect you? No, that's just how it is. So you need to let people go. Learn to let them go. They were not meant to stay. They have shown you over and over and over and over and over again that they will say whatever they want. They will violate your boundaries. They want to do however they please. And just because you stand up, then all of a sudden you're, say, gaslighting or whatever the case may be. You need to let people go. You see, life, I wouldn't say life. People is like a rope. If you have a rope and you tie it on your hand and you start pulling, the longer you keep yanking it back and forth, the more you hold it. And the longer you keep pulling, the more your hand will blister. When you let it go, your hand will still be blistered up, I should say. But when you let the rope go, over time your hand will heal. So if you ever notice that somebody went against you or say cheated on you or whatever the case may be, they violate your boundaries, and if you ever notice that they keep on hurting you over and over and over again, that's because you're probably still connected to that person, because that person have access to you, like with a friendship. So they're gonna keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. They have shown you already that they don't really care about who you are or what you are. They're gonna keep on doing the same thing. So you have to let them go. They're doing absolutely nothing for you. They're bringing nothing to your table. They're not, say, sit down and sharing visions and sharing ideas. They're doing absolutely nothing. So why are you holding on to them? Why? Learn to let go. The best thing is letting people go. Because if you ever notice, if you're not at peace and you're always at war, you ever notice you're always at war with the same people over and over and over and over and over again? It's the same people or same person or whatever it is that you have going on. So you have to learn to let them go. If it's not, say, I was about to say beneficial, but if it's not, say, like a peace of mind, if it's always negative and it's always draining you and it's always breaking you, you need to let those type of people go, because they're doing nothing. All they're those are I wouldn't say they're takers, but all they're doing is coming in your life, bringing all their nonsense and garbage in your life, bringing their load, causing problems with you that you do not have to deal with. To you, that's like dead weight. Because if you are at peace and then somebody always have a problem, there's always something wrong, Like life, like I've always said, is a learning cycle. So if you can't figure something out, you don't need to bring it to somebody else. You know what I mean? So if you're a person that's like at peace, the only way you're gonna stay at peace is unless the people that you have around you generally love themselves and they know who they are and they don't bring their problems on you. They deal with their own problems. So that means you'll always be at peace. You're only unbothered, or you're only bothered when those average or low class people come in your life, and then all of a sudden they come and they want to destroy because they think, oh, if I'm miserable, I think everybody else should be miserable. Some people, you need to let them go, especially if you're ever were friends with someone or in a relationships or even co-workers. Like if somebody ever violate your boundaries in a certain way, and then you notice that they keep doing it, that's because you said nothing. That's why if a person disrespect you or treat you unfairly and nothing was said, they keep doing it over and over and over again, because it's human nature to think, if if somebody do something and nothing was said, they think it's okay for them to do it all over again. So notice, if somebody lied to you, and whether you know it's a lie or not, they lied to you, and then you believe or whatever, or you let them think that you believe, they will keep lying over and over and over again. If a person disrespect you and you let it slide, they will keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, because like I've said, they think it's okay. So with that being said, is you need to let those type of people go. If it's draining, if it's always negative, you need to let it go, because if someone always have problems, trust me, you're gonna feel some of those people's problem. If it's draining all the time, you're gonna be mentally drained. You're gonna feel it, because like if a person is always going through a storm and you decide that you want to go through the storm with this person, some of those splashes from the raindrop is gonna catch you, because you're gonna have to be in the storm with them. You know what I mean? So with that being said, is you need to let people go. If it's not building you, you need to let it go. You don't need it. You deserve way better. You need to let it go. You may sit down and think, oh, but that was my best friend and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, your best friend disrespect you. Your best friend treated you unfair. And I know most times it's hard for people to like let others go, but that's human nature. You have to learn how to detach yourself. And how you detach yourself from somebody else is you have to deal with the problem head on. If you notice, people that always trying to run away from the problem, they run away from it now, but guess what? Tomorrow it's gonna be there. When they run away tomorrow, the next day it's gonna be there. You know what I mean? So when you deal with these type of stuff head on, then you learn how to let them go. You have to do it. It may seem hard because whatever the bond you guys have, you guys probably grow up as kids growing up, and you guys were best friends back in kindergarten, and you went through elementary, high school, all that kind of stuff. But people change. People change, and that's just the life that we live in. That's the world that we live in. It's the fact that you may be best friends with somebody today, and tomorrow you guys may be enemies. That's just how it is, because people think of their own free will and they will do whatever they want to do. So with that being said, is if a person keep hurting you, keep draining you and everything, like, why are you holding on to this person when all they're doing is they're chaotic? They always have a problem to tell you. There's always something wrong. And guess what? They want to speak to you. They want to tell you everything what's wrong with them. But they never one time ask you if everything is okay. Like, everybody got problems. Doesn't really matter if it's big or small. We all have problems, but the difference with everybody is how they deal with their problem. Because if you do not deal with your problem head on, tomorrow it's going to be bigger. A lot of people think they can run away from problems, but the longer you run away from it, the bigger it gets and the harder it will seem to overcome it. So with that being said, is you gotta let them go. And if you're a type of person where you want to be, say, above average, and you notice that people are always like they're always stealing ideas, and there's always something going on, and they're going to tell you can't do this and you can't do that, that everything is wrong, that person back there didn't do this, that person over there didn't do that. You need to let those people go, because the type of people that you have around you really affects your growth. And if all they're bringing to you is negative stuff and telling you 10,000 things of why you won't succeed, is that's a person that don't like They're not wishing you the best because they want to keep you down with them. The type of friends that you have and the relationships that you have and the circle, your team that you have, depending on however they are or what, however, like whatever they're bringing towards you, sorry, determine how far you will go. So if you're a person that always need help with this and always need help with that, you need to learn how to stand on your own. That's why they will keep disrespecting you over and over and over again. And then if you notice that you can't grow and you can't move forward, there's a type of people that you have around you. It's better you be alone and focus on yourself and grow instead of having 20 people around you and you're getting absolutely nowhere. Because the more, like when you have people around you, like different energies around you will affect you. If a person is always negative towards you, over time, like if you're not, say, strong-minded and you don't truly believe that what you're doing you can do it, then over time you're going to have negative thoughts and you're going to doubt yourself. If you have a friend that's like always doubting themselves about something, always, you're going to gravitate to that. If your energy is not stronger than theirs, then eventually you're going to look within yourself and start doubting yourself too. Because if a person's going to tell you, oh, why you need to do that? You don't need to do that. You don't need to be above average. Why you need to do this? That's a person that's like second guessing themselves. So if they start second guessing themselves and you're in need of, say, like you need advice, that person will have absolutely nothing good to say to you. Because when a person give advice, like when you ask a person a question, before this person answer you, they look within themselves to see if they can do it. Because not everybody know how to put themselves in somebody else's shoes. So if they can't do it themselves, they're going to tell you that it's not possible. They're not going to say, oh, I can't do it, but you probably can because you have the talent and the intelligence in that field to make it happen. But I can't. They're not going to say that to you. They're going to say, why you think you can do it? You can't do it. So with that being said, is certain people, you have to let them go. If they're always breaking you, always draining you, like the longer you hold on to them, the more problem you're going to have. That's why you're always at war. You will, like, it's almost close to impossible to ever be at peace if all you do is tolerate a bunch of negative people and people with problems. Because they're going to doubt themselves. Then they're going to try to affect your dreams. You gotta let them go, bro. You don't need them. Especially if you don't need them. Like they're dead weight. People you have around you, and you have to be careful with, like, when they speak to you. You have to know the difference with when someone is trying to motivate you from when someone is trying to, say, make you second guess yourself. They want you to doubt yourself. That's why they're coming with negative stuff. Like, bro, anything that you're doing, there's always a negative side of it. But if a person is always focusing on the negative side, then you got to let them go. Because number one, you can't ask that person for help if you need help. If you can't figure out how to move forward, you can't ask that person of how to move forward because they themselves don't even know what they're doing. So if a person have no idea what they're doing or what they're aiming for, you think they're going to have something good to say to you? You got to let them go. And this is especially for, say, relationships and best friends. If you're with someone and they constantly doing the same thing over and over and over again, you have to learn how to detach yourself from them. You may think you need them. That's because you're connecting to them emotionally. That's just how it is. If you're best friends with someone, you have a special bond with them. That's why you think it's hard for you to let them go. You ever had a friend, like, growing up, and then your friend moved away and you cried, you thought it was the end of the world, and then over time you heal, then you form bonds with somebody else? That's life. That's just how it is. Because when a person loses something, they search for different things to fill the void. That's how it is. So if a person is always draining, always breaking, there's always negative, you need to let it go because it will affect your growth. It will affect you. Or you may think no, but eventually it will. Maybe not yet, but eventually it will. That's just how it is. You need to have positive people around you. All those negatives ones, you need to let them go and move on and keep pushing forward. All the friends that you have that are not being supportive, if you don't want to let them go, well, You have to let them go, because if they're not a part of what you're doing, then I don't see the sense of you guys hanging out as often as you were when you weren't trying to better yourself. But the moment you get up and you say, you know, you want to better yourself, you're going to have all those negative people to deal with. And then you're going to have to know the difference with negative and positive of how they're talking to you. Because the worst thing is having your best friend telling you something negative. Because you know what? You're going to believe them. Because you're going to say, oh, I've known this person for over 10 years, and we've been best friends for over 10 years, so I don't think they will lie to me. Sometimes people are low-key jealous of you. Like, once you start doing something productive with yourself, they get jealous of you, because, like, people at the bottom always get jealous of those who trying to rise up. That's why if you ever notice, the moment you get up and you say you want to start doing something, and then you're wondering how when you weren't doing nothing, you weren't facing all these difficulties, that's because you weren't doing nothing with yourself. But the moment you start to proceed and you get up and you know what? I want to do something with myself. That's when you're going to have all those people coming to you with negative stuff. You have to let them go. And it's always the one closest to you always trying to control your brain. So if you can't think for yourself and you're not strong-minded, you will lose and you will stay at the bottom every time. Because if you want to do something and you need everybody else's advice, you will get absolutely nowhere. Because whoever you're asking may not want to see you better than them. They may say, oh, no, you can't do that. Don't do it. Don't even waste your time starting because you can't do it. They themselves, they're probably like, I know your potential. Because, like, bro, sometimes people see the potential that you have, but if you do not see it, they will try to keep you down. And that's one thing everybody should learn, is the fact that people will see you every day and know that you have the potential to do something or make something happen, but guess what? They won't say it to you. You ever notice, like, people that get visions, you ever notice when they get the vision, like, they are dreams? Mostly, like, nowadays people say dreams, but it's still vision. So when you, like, say you have a dream or you get a vision, you ever notice you got it? You ever one time sat down and think, oh, if somebody else got the vision that you're supposed to get of how your life should be, you ever consider that they might not say it to you? Why do you think you got it? Because God himself already knows if you give somebody else the vision to give to you, you may not get it. So he give you. So with that being said, is you think if your success was in somebody else's control, you think you can succeed? Especially if this person do not want to see you winning? Nope. You gotta let them go. They're affecting you, but you don't see it because you're looking everywhere else. And if you ever feel like you can't move forward and like there's always something in your way, it's the one that you're telling all your business. They're the ones that scheming up some plan in order to double cross you. Because a person don't truly know what you're thinking, and they can't know what you're aiming for unless you say it. So if you tell a person what you're doing, it's easy for them to sit down and figure out how the way to keep you down with them, or figure out a way to stop you from moving forward. That's just life, and that's just how it is. You have to let them go. I know you think you need them. I know you think you need them. But in reality, over time, you will heal. Over time, you will. You may think, oh, it's going to be the end of the world. No, it's not the end of the world. Every end is a new beginning. Every end is a new beginning. And then when you let those negative stuff go, I was about to say people, but same thing. When you let those people go and you start to proceed, eventually you'll meet those that's like either on the same path as you or working on themselves the same as you. But you can't proceed forward if you keep holding on to those that are holding you back. Because they're holding you back, but you don't see it. Because in your brain, oh, we've been friends for over 10 years. So you're blaming everything and everybody else of why you can't move forward, but you can't see it's the one that you tell everything. They're the ones affecting what you're doing. That's why sometimes when you're doing something, it's best to keep it to yourself until you have achieved it, then you say something about it. I know when you're doing something, you want the whole world to know you're doing something. I know. But trust me, it's better when you keep it to yourself, because people will affect what you're trying to do. That's life, and that's just how it goes. You have to let them go. You think you need them, but you don't. All they're doing is draining you, breaking you, disrespecting you, betraying you. They don't trust you. They don't care about you. They have no respect for you. They don't show up when you need them. Well, anytime you ask them for an advice, it's always something negative. And why you have them? You can't grow. You can't move forward because of them. And a lot of people are unaware of the reason why they can't move forward is because of the ones they have telling them stuff. Whoever they have around them, whoever is in their ears saying, oh, do this or do this or do that, trying to control your decisions. The other thing a person can give another person is like information, but what that person do with that information is up to them. Like you can tell you can tell a homeless person to get a job, but it's up to that homeless person if they really want to go get up and get a job. Like every homeless person is not, say, stupid or uneducated. They just have no home. That's just how it is. Maybe when they were growing up, maybe they destroyed their own life. I don't know. But that's just the way how it is. You can only tell somebody what to do. And if a person truly depend on, say, your advice, your opinions, then I like bro, it's weird. Like you can always be depending on somebody to guide. Like I'm not talking about me. I'm the one that everybody always asks me for my advice. But I'm trying to put myself in a situation like if I was a person to always ask somebody for advice. Like imagine people will literally lead you astray. They will tell you, oh, go do this and then go do that. And when you go mess up, then they will sit down and laugh at you. And then they will ask you, oh, why did you do it? You think they're going to say, oh, sorry for telling you to do that? No, they don't care. They don't care because it's not them. People do not care about stuff that's not affecting them. So if you are the type of person that you say you want to go above and beyond, then you're going to have to pick and choose those who you ask for advice. And those who are doing absolutely nothing for you and you're not growing with them, you got to let them go. They disrespect you. They betray you. They're always draining, always negative, always doing nothing with themselves. Those type of people, you have to let them go. Learn to let them go. That's why you can't move forward, because let me tell you something. You have to lose in order to gain. You can't gain if you never lose anything. If you keep holding on to the same friends that's like doing nothing with themselves, how you think you're gonna proceed forward to meet new people that's like on the same path as you? You can't meet them because you're holding on to these ones. Why? Because you have a bond with them. Like bonds are made to, like, you can have a special bond with somebody, and like I've said, that person moved away or they passed away or something happened. You're hurt now, and then the next week you're starting to heal, like, because you have to deal with it in order to heal. I'm not saying you shouldn't forgive them. You should forgive them, but you shouldn't give that person like access to you like how they used to. You have to let them go. They're affecting everything what you're doing. You have to let them go. You have to. You will never grow and you will never move forward. They're always negative. Trying to control your decisions, want you to destroy your own life, trying to keep you at the bottom with them. And you don't see it because of the bond that you guys have. And you don't want, maybe you don't want them to think, oh, I will go ask somebody else, and then they'll be upset. Maybe. But you have to let them go in order to proceed forward. So I hope this message was useful for some of you guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned. I will be back doing more stuff. You go enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out. And don't forget to follow me on social media. I post daily on them.